So you're taking cilantro for breakfast this morning?
Yep.
So are you? Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I'm going to do a zip around my deck because today is going to be in the 90s, and I'm trying to get things situated so maybe I can work out here. Got this umbrella that I can open up fairly soon today, and I can work in my sink. That's what the sink is set up. I've got the hose there. It's just a perfect place to work. Oh, there are dogs down there. You know, she's lived here now for over 2 years and she still thinks they don't belong here, even though they come in the house. I don't know with her. But let's walk through the hummingbirds. Now let's look at this. I got this at one of those bargain stores for $1, and I'll tell you something. I'm not even happy with it for $1. It's supposed to stick on the window. It's a wild bird feeder. Could you imagine when the suction cups let loose like the hummingbird feeders and you have seed all over? So I'm going to end up using this because I hung it up. See what I did from Dollar Tree? I got a basket and then one of the planter wires you can get there. The hanging, well, it's to put on a hanging basket, anything, a flower pot or whatever. And I just hung it here and it works. And then here, as you're going to see, there's a lot of silk and plastic flowers. I've been getting a really good bargain on these, and it's shading my plants. It's really not here for looks, though. It is here for looks because it looks nice, but it's got a purpose. Let me show you. Let me tell her, Zoe, shh, 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 they belong here. It's okay. Let's walk over here. Okay, here I don't have anything plastic except for the butterfly that came out of, this is those solar lights, and I made the planter out of it. See that? So now I'm growing a whole new succulent out of it. Here's, let's see, this is the gnome, and then here's another planter. There's a butterfly on that. But they are just working out great. Here's the one, oh, they actually lifted this up. Here is the one that, let's stick that back in. I just came through with a hose. I must have knocked it out. Succulents are so great. They fall out, you stick them back in. Some silk flowers, you saw that. That's another different style light. The solar lights, don't throw them away. Get rid of the part that has the battery in it, which is usually on the top, and then use it as a planter, and this has got the little perch, which some birds sit on and some birds don't. Anyways, getting back to this, I'm trying to get the flowers to take off. Here's a pot marigold. There's even a pepper in here, and then there's a lettuce back there. Can you see that? But I'm using plastic and silk flowers. See how they drape over? It's hard to see. But what they're doing is they're providing shade for the young tender plants. Now remember, seedlings are coming up under the mother plants or coming up under trees and other brush and different things until they reach the sunlight. So a lot of your small plants and seedlings need more shade in the beginning, and when the birds come through here and the house finches do, they would eat the small seedling. That lettuce would be gone. They can't get in there. They don't even pay attention to it. So that's what's going on all through here. Here's plastic, here's silk. Some of them will look really nice for a long time. Some of them are UV protected and they'll, they won't fade, where others will fade. I don't care if they fade. You take a makeup brush with any type of paint that's good for plastic, just lightly brush it and you add some color to it. I'm not even gonna bother. This is to protect my marigolds that are coming up underneath. The plastic plants are to protect the marigolds, is what they're there for. Here's more plastic protecting my baby marigold. This one is a blanket flower. Also, this is here protecting this little flower as well as helping this one stand nice and straight. So I've got a reason why I'm putting plastic all through here. Here, this one, it had such a bare trunk. See, this is a blanket flower. So I wanted to give it a good support up. Look at all the new flowers coming. Oh my goodness, they're all full here. Look at that. It really protects the trunk of the plant. Nothing's gonna bother it. She's starting to become annoying. Hey, enough. We can't hear. And so this really does help it. And then I really didn't want orange, but when you can't get picky if you can get a big box for $1 or $2. So I put the orange here to protect, look at this, a zinnia growing in this pot I put here. Look at the pepper. I've got to move this. This is so happy with the plastic flowers here that it is growing peppers. I know I saw another one. Oh, down here. There's peppers growing all through that. Before it was just not doing good because the sun was beating on it. I haven't done anything through here except back here because the sun is this way. So I'm giving this plant here, it's like a carnation, and the pot marigold a little bit of shade. This is why I'm using plastic. You're going to see the disaster. Let's see what's going on here. The umbrellas are nice, I will admit. But, you know, they do fade, but you can hit them with paint when you want. But it not only looks nice, especially you've got snow, so many of you, and you're under ice. When you start your garden, you get some of your favorite silk and plastic flowers. You stick them around as you're growing and planting your flowers up. You have instant color. It's kind of like dressing up your house or dressing up yourself, but it's actually supporting the plants with shade. This is just something I picked up. Actually, it was in pieces. Got the whole thing, and it was just this is $1. And it were like, this was $1. These are at these bin stores. And let me tell you something. I went to a bin store the other day. I went twice this week. It's a nice outing. Once I went with Gary, once I went by myself. You never know what you're going to find. But the big thing I wanted to tell you is they're opening up nationwide all over the place. They all have different names. You've got the deal hunters out here. You've got Score More. You've got deal bargains, and all these different ones. You got to look around. Type in bin stores. You can't believe what you can find in your area. Now here I'm going to straighten all this out when I get to it, because I'm still repotting a lot. Let's look through here. Again, my marigolds were so tiny, and the birds come and sometimes eat up the plants. There's a zinnia. Here's the silk flowers with the plastic. It is protecting. Am I worried about the plastic leaching into the soil? Absolutely not. Everything we eat right now has got plastic or something in it, chemicals in it. You can't worry about this. It has been researched, and I'm only going to touch on this for a second, that the roots are so fine, and on top of that, the plants pull up what they want, that they're not pulling up the plastic. They have no interest in it. If you sat down at a buffet and you had a cake and you had a steak, okay, you're a vegetarian, a beautiful green salad, you know, broccoli, all these wonderful things, and a pile of rocks and a pile of mud and a whole cup of paint. Are you going to eat the paint, the rocks, and the mud? No, you're going to eat the other stuff. That's what plants do. That is the least of our worries about growing in plastic. I have grown in plastic since I was a kid. I am food containers and everything. I am not going to worry about it at this stage. The plants are not going to bring it up, and the plastic that you see all through here doesn't even break down to the smallest particles and literally start to melt until it's about 140 to 150 degrees, and your soil will never get that hot. If it does, we have far more things to worry about than what's in our food, because we have a major problem, all right? Again, the plastic that we're consuming is coming out of drinks that we drink that have been stored in plastic. You may think it's fine going to the grocery store and buying bottled water, bottled juice, but you don't know when it sits in a warehouse how long it's been sitting there and how hot these warehouses or shipping containers can sometimes get if they're not refrigerated. That's why water bottles were the worst, because people were throwing them. I actually found family members that were throwing cases of water in their trunk and leaving it there, where your car does get 140, 150, 160, 200 degrees in parts of the car, and that is what was breaking down. And then our mouth is big, we drink it, we swallow it, and it's gone. Again, animal feed. Gee, I bought ground meat once, and I picked through it. Oh, this was years ago. That's why I'm so selective on what I buy. It was full of green, just full, tiny pieces. I got a magnifying glass out. It was full of pieces of shredded plastic in my ground beef, which means if I cooked it up and I would have eaten it, I am consuming plastic that way. I don't have a choice because it was in my food already. See where I'm going? So I'm opening my mouth, I'm eating it, and it's gone. Plants can pick and choose. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, I want that. They are picking what they bring up. We are not. Dog food, chicken feed, cattle, they mash up so much stuff in that things and in their food and put in pellets that they can find traces of plastic. There were talks of rice having plastic. That's kind of been debunked a little bit. Rice has arsenic that we have to worry about. we eat rice. You can wash it. You can do different things. You're never going to get it all out, but you know, we have to do the best we can do. In this day and age, you've got a lot of your, let's say your wheat. Oh, that's a whole topic. I'm going into something else. I do this all the time. What they do is they take a field. They spray it because it's green. Some of it's going brown. Some of it is going orange. Some of it is still green, but they need to harvest it, so they spray it. I'm not even going to get into the name of the chemical right now. Then it's dried and it's packaged and we eat it. That's not good for us either. But that's the way they do it because that's the way they work on the farms. We're not working on a farm. You know, we don't have to harvest everything at the same exact time. We could go through and pick and choose what we want, when we want it, where a farm can't. Look at all this. Same thing here. I was going to come over here and show you all my beautiful lettuce. I was going to wait till it looked good. And then I realized I can't. Why? Because I come out here every couple days and pick all the lettuce that I need. Though I'm going to change things up. So there's never going to be big leaves because the first thing like tonight, I will go through and pick through here. I did find a worm on there, so I had to get him out, but I will go through and pick through. Nothing's covered yet with Tulle here. I've got Tulle coming up that I'm going to end these caterpillars 100%, make things easier. Look at this. I go through and pick a whole bunch of leaves. Back through here. Excuse me, Zoe. Here. Oh, this you really, I'll show you that in a minute. And I go through and I pick all the big leaves, and then I pick peppers, and then I pick tomatoes. Do I have tomatoes? Yes, I do. Look. Up against the glass where the tomato is staying warm at night. See the glass? You can wrap your tomatoes if you're in an area that's not too bad. Look at all this. And because it's being protected from the cold wind, it's growing. So I can pick my tomatoes. I can pick my beautiful cilantro. I don't like cilantro. Oh, here comes the thumbs down. Gary loves it. I grow it for him. This one's going to seed. Oh, something, you know, I think Gary took the top off so it wouldn't go to seed because he comes out here all the time. Look how big that trunk is. But this is all cilantro. He puts it on everything. Here's more lettuce. You know what this is? Chia seed. There's my onions growing. These are walking onions. We use that. But I'm foraging constantly, and I can't show you a big head of lettuce because the bigger ones get nabbed by me. So we're not farmers that say, hey, I have to harvest all this wheat today. We got to spray it so it's all brown so we can get it packaged up. We don't do that. We don't have to put chemicals on our food. We don't want to put chemicals on our food. You want to grow it in whatever soil you're going to grow it in. And then again, my plastic flowers. This is a fall color because they're discounting it right now because we're in the spring. Look what it does. I was putting these curtains up and I looked at it and thought, I don't want the curtains. Now, why don't I want the curtains? It'll work, but see this? Now let's take a peek around behind the curtain. Look, what do you see back there? It's dark. That's natural to a point for some plants. But what the plants really want is this. Can you see? See there? Now watch the plastic. See the silk flowers? Do you see what's going on with the leaf back there? Let me see if I can zoom in for a minute. Right there. What's going on is the sun is radiating through my plastic plant here, including on that one, and it's creating sun and shade on the leaf. So as the sun moves, it's going across the leaves. This is not the time to do a video. Gary's in the garden doing stuff in the yard. Zoe's all upset. I am so sorry for this. I should scrap this, but I'm going to try to wrap it up quick. But the point is, the plant is getting sun and shade throughout the day, which doesn't burn the plant. Now, you do want to take your yellow leaves off if you don't get to them, but don't you dare throw them away. The point is, they're growing beautiful because they're getting sunshade from the plastic plants. So they're getting the proper lighting and they can grow really happy. Now, what I was going to show you is this. This is our yard. Oh. Let's see, where can I put this? Let me move all this real quick. Sorry about this. Have you come in here, want to talk to you today, say hello in the morning, and this is our morning. Okay, this is a glass jar, and there's kitty litter down there. I'll have to do a video on how I do this. See the roots? The roots are coming back up. I don't know why. Look at this. There's no holes in the glass jar. Yet, can you see that? I'm getting the most beautiful lettuce. I keep harvesting it, and the lettuce is very happy. But see all the roots? So I put kitty litter down there, so it's not just gonna rot. The kitty litter will hold the water, so if I forget to water it and it's not damp, they go down there, the roots, and they grab the water from there. It works out really good. What's wrong with glass? If I drop it and break it, that's about it. Remember, I think I talked about my mother. She changed everything in the house when I was like 3 years old, 3 years old, no glass anymore, no pottery, no nothing, and everything had to be plastic. So if I drop it, I break it, I sweep it up. I'm not gonna worry about it, but there's no holes. And I'm growing the most beautiful lettuce out of here. I do have to cover it. No, that's not bugs. I thought it was bugs. But that's the only thing. Now I've got those, and I'm not sure what's going on. They were growing really good, but they might be root bound, so I'm gonna have to look at those. But these are really nice. It protects it from whitefly. That whitefly or aphids. So I'm gonna be doing something I've never done before, and I have never seen anybody else do. And I will bring you with me when I do it, because this year my goal is to grow more lettuce than I need. Just tons of lettuce, because when comes summer, it's gonna be hot. If we are about 90 degrees today plus, and we're in winter, I'm hoping it's just a freak, temperature we're going through right now. We do have a little bit of clouds, because I'm hoping we're not going to be in the hundreds for weeks on end. But if we are, the system I'm going to set up is going to be phenomenal. It'll be portable, it will be bug-free, and it will be easy to grow in. And this has nothing to do, let me turn around, with growing in totes, because your squash will need totes. Your pumpkins, your bigger plants, this is just plain old collard growing in here. You can eat it, do what you want with it, or use it for compost. These are pot marigolds. This is all got to be redone. It's really too tight. But I've got another method that I think so many of you are going to go wild about. Of course, I got to put it together completely and show you, because you can do it on a patio, you can do it in a yard, you can do it anywhere. So I'm working on that. These work out really good. This is nothing, because this is not even in a pot. I was pulling plants out, and this is, oh, you want to see that? Where is it? I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just putting soil in there. I'm going to repot this. I'm deciding on what I'm going to keep, because I like green celery, and then this is red. Though I don't mind a little bit of red. It's kind of peppery. I like the green celery. So I'm kind of going through and deciding what celery I want to keep. I have a green celery here, see? So it kind of depends on how I want to do it. But there are so many methods that we can grow in on the big and the small. So it doesn't matter if you have a big yard or a small yard. If I had all the time in the world, and I just mean a couple hours a day to work here, this would be phenomenal. This would be a food forest on this deck here. And I would probably have more food than we need, plus we can freeze a lot. So this is kind of where I'm going. I put a shade cloth up here. I bought umbrellas to be over the hummingbirds, as well as to be over me, because it gets really hot here. This is much hotter. I don't want to kind of stick my camera up than our gardens that are all over here. Because the gardens, if you look down, have trees. See, we've got orange trees here. And in my bird garden, I've got bushes and plants that I kind of got as trees. And of course, Gary's, I got to go this way, he's covered with the top. So it's much cooler in a garden to a point than it is here. See, there's Gary's garden there. My bird garden's on the other side of that shed there. So you've got the trees, but I don't have trees on the deck, and the sun is blazing on here all the time. So it's just, what can you do? So I've got to create more shade, and that's what I'm doing with all the plastic flowers. So I'm making it look pretty until my plants and flowers start blooming, which they're already blooming. And at the same time, I can work here. So I've got a big umbrella that goes there. I got two of them now. He's got to set up some pipes for me on the other side there. But let's see, what was it? Oh, that's right. I told you before I close this off. I may end up with a purple cabbage. I don't care if I end up with a purple cabbage or not. I use these in my drink. When I make a green drink, that purple is just so rich for us. So I grabbed some leaves and put it in there. One last thing. I brought some soil up from around the bird garden, and I'm going to pot a few things here. Actually, I'm going to pot lettuce in a very unique way you've never seen before. Have to do that if I get the time today. There's my lettuce I'm going to pot up. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? This is covered in tulle. This is not what I was going to show you because I haven't done it yet in the fashion in which I'm going to do. There it is. So I've got the tulle over it so no bugs can get to it. It's doing beautiful. So that's coming. And I know a lot of you aren't gardening yet. Look at this. Remember those peppers? Now this we don't want. This is purslane growing here. All those peppers I grew from Aldi and Walmart. Yes, I'm still growing Walmarts periodically, but I had all these. I put them in plastic bags. I'm one-handed, so I don't think there's much, oops, sorry, that I can do here. But I can either plant them. This is very different than tulle. Let's take this over here. Pretend you're looking over my shoulder and I'm showing you this. Or you're standing right next to me on my side. Okay, now, when I'm ready, this is a pepper. I think it's orange, but I won't swear to it. I can just take it out of the plastic bag. Look how easy it's going to be to take out of the plastic bag. And on top of that, I won't damage it. Personally, I can't do much about it. It grows all over the deck and the seed is like super fine like dust and gets into everything. But do pull it out because it will pull nutrients from the plant. But look at this. In a plain old cheap plastic bag, not Ziploc, just the foldovers. They're real cheap. I can give that away. I can say, hey, to my neighbor, I have way too many. Take some of them. Get it out of here. Here's a Ziploc. I just had a bag that was used. It's got 2 little peppers growing in there. And there is a hole. I cut the corner. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to lift the camera to show. Right, I think it's this one. I did make a hole in it, so it's not going to fill too much. But isn't that nice? A plastic bag. Though I do use tulle when I'm planting, like I use it for covering and I use it to plant a whole bunch of seeds and then I can lift it out. I've showed you, we'll talk about that soon again. This was something else. And I thought I'm just going to plant them in plastic bags instead of composting them and I can give them away. Or Gary told me now he might take some for his garden and stick them all over. So there's a lot of different things I can do. So anyways, this was just kind of the touch base. I can't believe we don't have spring for 3 weeks and we have days that were so hot. And then we have days that were so cold. Like right now, they're calling for in the 90s today. It's going to drop a little bit in the next couple days. At night, we've been 50s again, which is nice, instead of the upper 30s or low 40s. But we're not consistent yet, so we'll see how things go. But it's okay. Anyways, I showed you my mess. And unfortunately, I can't show you my big heads of lettuce because all I do is harvest. I think, gee, I'm making some tacos or I'm making some ground meat that's got zucchini in it. And I don't like pure ground meat, so I take zucchini and I put it in there so it's not pure. It's kind of hard when you get older, a lot of meat. But then I just make a salad and I put the meat on there and sour cream or yogurt. I use Greek yogurt. I get that from Aldi. It's a really cheap price and there's nothing in it but milk. I don't want the tapioca or rice flour, all that. I want my yogurt to be yogurt. And then I can put, like I said, build it with a salad, a little bit of grated cheese, which I like buying in blocks and grate myself, and hot sauce and chopped up peppers and everything I want, all coming from my deck. So all I had to do was buy the meat and then the yogurt. Can I make yogurt? Yeah, but I don't have time. I do not have time. So that's it. I looked down there. I'm going to ask you if you have the same problem I have. I've got a couple tables I haven't used yet. I have no idea how this happens, but every flat surface, whether it's here on the deck or in my house, becomes a place to hold things. It's not what I want. I need flat surfaces to work. I turn around, it's like a miracle that I don't want. I have a flat surface, and the next thing, it's a table holding all kinds of stuff. Everything, even here. This is holding my peppers. But see, oh, and this has been great. I put the peppers here a week ago. They were tiny. See, this one's got a lot of shade. It's really happy. Again, I don't have to worry about, oh, it's too hot during the day or it's getting too much sun. This creates the perfect shade. See how on the plant leaves? The perfect shade, plastic flowers. So it's up to you. But keep an eye out. Try your thrift stores. Try your stores. See if they've got the autumn flowers on sale. And if they do, maybe think about it. But if you want, you can always go with curtains or flags. I think I'm going to use something that's going to give me a little color in my life. And with that, have a wonderful day. I'm going back to work. Gonna go get breakfast, And don't forget to eat what you grow. And thanks for coming and visiting me this morning. And I'm so sorry about Zoe. I could have locked her in the house, but then she would have been in the house screaming. This is her job. She's trying to tell me there's a dog or a chicken down there. What? What do you see that you're so upset about? Oh, yeah. Gary's healers are here. You do know they live here? And they're older than you, you silly, silly girl. I don't know what it's got to be, she's looking that way. It must be the chickens. Oh, the life of a Yorkie. They're always on the hunt, they're always protecting, and they're always busy. Bye-bye. I gotta get to the hummingbirds already. Seriously? I just put food out first thing at sunrise. Pretty much. Yep, and they're waiting in the citrus trees. Look at that. So you're taking cilantro for breakfast this morning?
Yep.
So are you taking the tops off of my cilantro, the seeds?
Yeah, I took the flowers off before they flowered so that it doesn't bolt.
Okay, that's what I thought it was you. Okay, that's fine. So now you're making breakfast?
Yep.
Sounds good. Good to me. Oh, it's getting warm.